commanding lead, 28-10. Rushing yardage almost all Evan Royster. The passing yardage, McGloin, who's done a nice job. And when you go back here in the back and go in the hallway behind our booth, I heard about 4 people say, well, that's the best half of football we played all year. And those were Penn State fans, and they did play very well in the first half.
And it started with the running game. The offensive line did a nice job. Evan Royster came to play tonight, and that took pressure off the quarterback, Matt McGloin, who was making his first career start. And he did a lot of good things. You know, he started out, he's a confident guy. He was looking forward to the opportunity. This was one of his best plays. On their first scoring possession, it was 3rd and 10. He ran for about 11. He's thrown the ball well tonight so far, 10 of 17. He knows where to go with the football. And a beautiful touchdown pass to Graham Zuck here right before halftime. So an excellent first half for Matt McGloin in his first start.
And they'll have a chance to touch it first offensively. Chaz Powell and Stephon Green waiting on the Michigan kick. He'll go down and take a hop at the 3. Stephon Green picks it up at the goal line. And he's met at about the 24-yard line. That's where Penn State goes to work with a 28-10 lead. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, I caught up with Rich Rodriguez of Michigan at the half, and he said, we're doing just 2 of the things that you can't do on defense. We're not tackling well, and we're not getting off blocks. He also said they've missed some things in the passing game that they thought Penn State was giving them. They just haven't executed the plays. And the most important thing, perhaps, they've got to get more first downs. This is an offense that is predicated on rhythm and getting a tempo going and really get rolling. He said, we've just been stop and start and haven't been able to get that rhythm. That
is a great point. All night long, it seems, with the exception of their 1 touchdown drive, just haven't been clicking on offense. Here's McGloin overshooting Brackett, or in front of Derek Moy. Somewhere in there is where it landed. First half drives for Penn State. As you can see, just 1 punt and some very impressive marches, 2 of them over 70 yards.
Yeah, I think for Michigan here in the second half, defensively, they've got to change their tactics a little bit and try to come after Matt McGloin and really pressure the line of scrimmage. See if he can make some tight throws against bump and run coverage or tough coverage. Get extra bodies up there to try to tackle Evan Royster.
And Royster's forward progress is going to give him his 100-yard game, I think, but he didn't get much. Royster has had better room to run in the middle with Mike Martin out, and he will not return from what we're hearing from Michigan right now.
Yeah, Adam Patterson, his backup, is out there again to start the second half. And but I just think they've got to, they can't be very conventional. They did not stop Penn State very well in that first half. They've got to gang up on the line of scrimmage and take their chances with coverage in the back end.
Here's where they need a stop right away to open up the third quarter. Michigan's defense, that is. McGloin throws, and they didn't get the stop. They got Moy out in the open now. Moy down the sideline, cut back to the 35, and instead of stopping them, it's a big Penn State pass play. And a pickup of 40.
Well, Terrence Talbot, number 22, a true freshman quarterback, was in good position on Moy. And I don't know if he misjudged the ball and thought he was going to get an interception or what. But he went for the football and missed not only the ball, but then wasn't able to make the tackle, and Derek Moy turned it into a big play.
And Justin Brown got a crushing block out there to help him pick up extra yardage all the way to the 35 of Michigan. Now back to the eye, play action. McGloin, pump fake, and deep ball, sideline. Broken up. Moy, the intended receiver. J.T. Floyd got a hand on it as well.
I like the strategy of Penn State going after this secondary because they don't play with a lot of confidence. I mean, they obviously coming into this game have had problems trying to go a stutter step and go. It didn't fool the defense, but it still was almost a catch by Moy because of the hesitancy on J.T. Floyd's spot. I just think this secondary is shell-shocked all season, and they're not playing very aggressively right now.
2nd and 10. And here's Royster up the middle. Got 4, maybe 5. Jonas Mouton, one of the captains of the defense, a senior outside linebacker, made the stop. So it's another 100-yard game plus in the matchup with Michigan. I mentioned the last 2 years Evan Royster's gone over 100, and he's done it again, 14th time in his career.
And only the second time this season. So again, this has not been the kind of senior season he hoped for, but he has really looked good tonight.
Another third down. It's 5 yards to go for Penn State. McGloin on the run, throws a strike to Zug, the guy that he hooked up with for the touchdown in the second quarter. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, Todd, but when Rob Bolden's healthy, does he come back and start for Penn State at quarterback? This kid looks pretty good tonight.
He does look good. You know, he knows what he wants to do with the football. Now, again, Michigan has not done anything to really pressure him or make him uncomfortable, and he has continued to play with confidence.
Third down has been perfect. Here's a stretch play to Royster. Cuts inside the 20 to the 19. Sagase made the tackle for Michigan. Michigan trying to use some of their second line people and keep people fresh because Penn State's drives are kind of wearing them out on defense. Might be a combination of things. They're still maybe looking for the right combination to stop anybody because they haven't been able to. And there's the guy that's looking for the answers. Greg Robinson hasn't been able to find any. So back in the red zone for Penn State at the 19-yard line. Second down and 6. McGloin, quick drop, and the throw outside is complete. It's going to be short of the first down to Derek Moy. He's about a yard shy. And let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, this week, Matt McGloin was asked that very question, is what happens when Rob Bolden comes back, and he went out of his way to avoid any controversy and said, this is Rob Bolden's team. I'm just filling in, and I'm going to do the best I can to keep things going without him in there. It was a very tight competition, and people maybe didn't realize just how tight a competition it was in spring and fall for him to not get the job, but he's had a great attitude and does not want to invite any controversy at all. This is Rob's team.
They like them both, the rest of their teammates. The guy right now that's in the huddle is kind of a fiery competitor. Spinning and not getting the first down is Silas Red. He's short. And Michigan saying the ball came out at the end of the play. I think it's going to be fourth down at about a yard. Penn State went on fourth down in a similar situation in the second quarter, but this time Joe says, let's go kick it. And that'll mean Colin Wagner, who's had a sensational year kicking the football. In fact, he was just named a semi-finalist for the Groza Award, which goes to the top college place kicker in college football. There's his numbers.
This is definitely the right decision by Joe Paterno. I mean, it's your opening drive of the third quarter. You've got momentum. Get 3 more.
There's so much for the momentum. They might have been a guy short. I don't know, but they called a timeout on a field goal. And Joe just said, what happened? So we'll take a break with Coach Paterno and the Nittany Lions in command, 28-10. As Colin Wagner is going to try a field goal about 31 yards. 14 of 17 on the year. Just inside the right hash, and the kick is up and good. So Penn State tacks to their lead, much to the delight of the student body, all decked out in white. 31-10 Penn State. Right now, time for another edition of Todd's Taste of the Town. It's brought to you by Expedia.
In 1982, Herwig and Gundi Bronstater and their 2 children came to State College on their way to Australia, where they were going to open a restaurant. Well, they fell in love with the place and stayed here. And 10 years ago, opened up Herwig's Austrian Bistro, where they serve authentic Austrian food, write their daily menu on a chalkboard, and colorfully interact with the patrons throughout the day.
It's good food.
Let me get this straight. They're on their way to Australia. How do you hit State College?
I'll have to explain that to you. Here's a story
out
to
there,
it,
dude.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get that in a second.
Actually, they had friends here, and they were going to Australia to start a business, and they wanted their kids to spend a little time here learning English a little better. They came here only going to stay a couple months and ended up fallen in love with the place and decided to stay.
There you go. Once you get to Happy Valley, sometimes you never leave. Here's the kickoff. And another deep kick way back. And that one goes all the way back and hits the end line. Well, let's see what Mr. Blackledge had for lunch or dinner.
I'm going with the traditional Austrian dish, Wiener Schnitzel, which is a cutlet of either veal or pork that's pounded and seasoned, then dipped in flour in a special egg wash and pan fried. Serve it with some authentic potato salad and you're good to go. Now the rule here is if you don't finish your food, they threaten to paddle you. You can put the sticks away, boys. I got this.
I don't think you're going to have any problem with that plate.
No,
but I'm telling you, you make one more misfire up here, baby, and I'm going to hit you right in the back of the head with the Hurwitz stick.
Yeah. I think he wants that paddle back.
He probably does. Here's Denard Robinson to the near side, and flags fly in. He had a nifty run that would have netted him about 8 yards, but it might all be coming back. Lewan, the left tackle, got out there and might be the guilty party. Here's a call from Scott McElwee. Clip. Don't see that call very often.
Yeah, it was a wide receiver coming back on the play.
Offense, number 22. Half the distance to the goal. Replay first down.
Daryl Stoneham, the guilty party. Each week you can log on to ESPN.com, Taste of the Town. Tell us why you should get a $100 gift certificate to our featured restaurant. Tell us why you're hungry, who'd you take with you, and we'll pick a winner. Be sure to fill out your name and email address so we can contact you if you win. That wasn't really that big a plate of food for you. Is it?
No.
Were you worrisome about getting paddled?
Let me tell you the truth. I went there Thursday. Like I have to always check it out.
Yeah.
Thursday I had that after I'd already had the Butcher's Delight, which was 2 kinds of sausage, pork, sauerkraut, the whole mess.
Okay.
So then through that vast array, I chose what I wanted to feature.
Did they teach you how to yodel while you were there?
No.
No.
Her
The
leg
clock is run out. And everything's going on for Michigan right now. They got the timeout call, but right at the end of the play clock winding down. Well, when you come in here and you're down there on that end of the field with the student body going crazy, sometimes you can lose your train of thought. I think that probably didn't help Denard Robinson's cause. 31-10, Navy line. At 24 remaining third quarter. And Michigan, having taken a timeout, faces first down and long. 17 to go. For Denard Robinson and the Wolverine offense from the 13-yard line. The give is to Vincent Smith.
Well, this offense is best suited to be in games where they are ahead or right even, and they control the ball and control the tempo. Then the 2 losses to Michigan State and Iowa, they found themselves in a hole both times. Very similar to this.
And now after an off week, facing a 3rd straight defeat if they can't come from behind here. Robinson on the left side, and he got across the 30, and he's out to the 36-yard line. So another nice, nifty run by Denard Robinson. Picks up 19 more, and that'll keep Michigan's drive alive.
He is just so quick and changes direction so quickly without losing speed. That's what makes him special. He can stop and go a different direction without slowing down.
This time he gives it off to Shaw. Michael Shaw. And he got out close to the 40, pickup of about 3. Michael Maude, the linebacker, made the hit.
I started to say in the first half, talking to Rich Rodriguez about Denard Robinson, comparing him to Pat White. One big difference, Pat White, his first year, he redshirted at West Virginia and learned the system. Denard played a little bit last year instead of redshirting. He's now the guy.
And now he's got a wide open tight end in Koger. Koger rumbling down for a touchdown. Almost a broken play. Might have a face mask in the end zone at the end of the play, but a 60-yard scoring toss on, again, what looked like it was going to be a run before Denard Robinson pulled it down and threw to his big tight end.
Yeah, really another touchdown for Michigan where Penn State was out of position, and not to take anything away from the read by Denard Robinson and finding Koger running down the field.
After After the touchdown, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 2. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff.
So the penalty assessed on the kickoff.
Now this safety here is going to go that way, and he's completely out of the picture, but somebody else has to be in that part of the field. And Koger was just running right down the seam, the big tight end, all by himself.
Extra point is up and good. So Denard Robinson finds a touchdown through the air, and it tightens the ball game up with 7:58 to go, third quarter. 2-score game, Penn State. The Denard Robinson with a 60-yard touchdown pass has closed the gap here. 31-17, Penn State in front. And with a penalty and the face mask in the end zone, kicking off from the 45. My job didn't depend on it. If I was a coach, I'd onside kick it here. But I'm not, and it doesn't. And he knocks it out of the back of the end zone. So that'll bring it out to the 20 for Penn State. Mike McQuarrie talking with Matt McGloin. He's done an excellent job tonight. Practice on Thursday when we were talking to him, I said, you threw a couple of nice balls last week. And he said, threw a couple bad ones too. Well, the 2 good ones were touchdowns. Tonight he's got a touchdown throw and a rushing touchdown as well. And no interceptions. That's the best part over there on the right-hand side of the graphic. This time Michigan does a pretty nice job bottling up Evan Royster, who got a couple. Royster 100 yards plus tonight. You always like to see that when a guy does get the opportunity to break a record or make a career mark at his school, that it's not one of those nights where he's getting 1.5 yards every time he touches it. Yep. He had 100, almost 100 at halftime. Second down and 8. Suey is in there with him in an I backfield, and that's Brackett on the move. McGloin, screen pass again to Suey again, and to the 30, and he lost the ball. Penn State got on top of it, and it looks like he got the first down, and Troutman laying that big 323 pounds on the ball.
The screens have been good for Penn State tonight. Suey has gotten most of the action. There was a swing pass for a first down to Evan Royster in the first half. But they've done a nice job of selling the screen, and that's the quarterback and the line. And then Suey doing a nice job of finding and fitting behind blocks.
So first down at the 30. To Royster, and he sidesteps his way for 11 or 12 more. Made a nice move in the hole and just sort of slid to his left, and that netted him about 6 extra yards. Dad's in the rhythm.
And he has very quick feet. He doesn't have maybe the top end speed that some other guys have, but he has very quick feet in the hole. You see how many times he changes direction just by little hops or shifts in his feet and keeps moving forward for yardage.
124 yards now on 19 carries. First down at the 42-yard line. Right back to him, following his fullback. And flags are down at the line of scrimmage. Holding on Michigan.
Well, you don't see defensive holding called on a running play very often.
No.
Pass play, maybe.
Holding, defense, number 95. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Ronaldo Sagasi. Rich Rodriguez not happy at all. And he's letting the officials know that. That is a rare call. So it's a first down at the 48-yard line of Michigan. Back to Royster as a single setback. Play action. McGloin pulls up, fires deep, got a man. Dave Davon Smith inside the 15.
Boy, he had his choice there. He went with Davon Smith. He had Brackett running wide open across the middle. It's a little wheel route. Davon's going to go out and up, and Gordon is in chase mode. And again, this secondary is just kind of, they're just leaving too many openings for Penn State. And Matt McGloin is looking like an all Big Ten quarterback playing against him tonight.
Exactly. Inside the 15-yard line again. McGloin 15 to 24, 230 yards. And on the ground to Royster down to the 11. Watching that play by Davon Smith, we talked about his speed and how small he is. He's 5'7", 157 pounds, soaking wet. And when he runs, he looks like a cartoon character. His feet are going so fast. So Royster with a great night. McGloin likewise. And the hookup with Davon Smith got him down close to the Michigan end zone again. Second down at 6. They can get a first down just inside the 5-yard line. Brackett again in motion toward the ball. And it's Royster on the corner. Evan Royster with a step arm. And I think they're going to mark him a little bit short of the first down. They're going to put it just outside the 5, and he had to get just inside that 5-yard line. Ball came out. That's why it was spotted where it was. I didn't see that at the end of the play. At any rate, it's third down at about 2 feet. Two tight ends and Zordich, the fullback, in the eye with Royster, the tailback. And it's Zordich straight up the middle. Touchdown, Penn State. Give the fullback a little sugar.
Yes, sir.
Another 80-yard drive this time for Penn State. Extra point by Colin Wagner upcoming. Long, impressive scoring drives have been the story of the night for the Nittany Lions. They just tacked on their best of the night, or their longest of the night right there. Sometimes you got to give the big guy a little love. Instead of just blocking, give him the ball. Touchdown, Penn State. Not good to be undefeated anymore, is it? Here's a kick. Gallen, who mishandled one in the second quarter, comes from 3 yards deep. Found himself a little room. Gallen across the 40 and slips and goes down, but a great return that time. Farrer, the kicker, knocked him down just as he approached midfield. 4 Big Ten games so far this year now for Michigan, Todd, and they've allowed 35 to Indiana, 34 to Michigan State, 38 to Iowa, and now 38 and maybe counting to Penn State tonight.
It's really kind of stunning to me, Brad, quite honestly. I mean, as good as Michigan has been as a program, and they obviously have fixed their offense. They've got their offense going and progressing and developing. But defensively, it's shocking to me that they are this porous as a defense.
Well, Robinson throws a strike down the seam inside the 35 to Kelvin Grady. That'll be a Michigan first down. So after a nice kick return, and they hustle up to the line, and they're ready to snap it right now, except the chains haven't moved at the 34-yard line. They're set now. Robinson, a quick throw again, and almost could have been a flag there. And Devin still got a hand on that ball, I think. So there couldn't have been a penalty anyway if it was tipped. Second down and 10 at the 34. Well, Michigan answered last time Penn State scored, but they're still finding themselves in a big hole, 38-17. Robinson run all the way. Met in the hole by Ali Agbu. And one of the captains of the defense doing a little shimmy shake. All 300 pounds of it after a nice tackle.
Not very often do you get this guy behind the line of scrimmage or for a negative play or a gain of 0. That time Ogbu in the backfield for the stop.
Robinson on 3rd and long. Swing pass out to Vincent. And he high steps his way inside the 20, and he's got a first down. Boy, he avoided would-be tacklers, jumped over one, and that quiets the crowd as they move the chains again, and it's a first down for the Wolverines with 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, and they are definitely on the move down at the Penn State 16-yard line. Webb, the tight end, in there on a wing. He's going to be the lead blocker. Robinson to the corner inside the 10. Drilled there by Danton Lynn. But again, he got a nice gain.
Little change-up play that time. Instead of Robinson cutting back inside, this was designed to get him outside. The tight end is going to log block that guy inside. Robinson gets to the outside right now, reads the block of the tight end Webb, and gets to the corner.
Michigan can get a first down at about the 6-yard line. It's straight handoff this time, and it's 1st and goal at the 4 for Vincent Smith. And boy, you can hear a pin drop in here right now after the place was going crazy after an 80-yard touchdown drive for Penn State. But Michigan, after a nice kick return out to the 47-yard line by Gallen, has got it 1st and goal. 2 tight ends set for the Wolverines. Smith back there with Robinson in the backfield. He gets the call, and he's close, if not in. Stretched out and put the ball on the goal line, and they're going to say he's just shy. Some of the Michigan players still putting their hands up as if to say he was in. Now, Denard Robinson, quarterback sneak. And we still don't get a signal, except from the Michigan players as they unpile. And it is touchdown. Denard Robinson from less than a yard out, and even getting the extra point unit out there. Rich Rodriguez is saying, okay, it's time to pick up the pace if we're going to get in this game. So Robinson from less than a yard out, and Brookhuizen will try to tack on the extra points. And does. 53 yards in just 8 plays. Didn't take him very long. They've had a lot of short scoring drives time-wise this year, and that was another one. So that gets the game back to 2 touchdowns with 1:36 left. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is in Talladega this weekend. It's on ESPN tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. 4-time champ Jimmy Johnson is still your current points leader. Denny Hamlin, well, you can see him in the rearview mirror because he's that close. I don't think they have rearview mirrors, do they? I don't know. 6 points behind is all, though, with 4 races remaining.
Well, now, again, it falls on the Michigan defense. The offense has shown that they are capable of getting them back in the football game if they can just get a little help from their defense.
Agaruk to kick. Chaz Powell and Stephon Green back deep. Chaz Powell had been able to keep it out of his hands tonight up until right now at the 4-yard line. And he's an excellent return man. Cut down as he got to the 25. And so Penn State with a 2-touchdown lead. And a minute and a half remaining. Let's see if they can do what they did last time as we take a look at our Chick-fil-A drive recap, because their last one was their best one. They mixed it up with Royster on the ground. McGloin going to Davon Smith. And then Zordich, the fullback, for the touchdown from 5 yards out. So a great mix on that Chick-fil-A scoring drive of 80 yards in 7 plays in just under 4 minutes last time. They'd like to do that again. Start at the 25 this go around. This is Red. And he broke a tackle and got outside and got close to the first down. Actually might have stepped out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain on the far side. Silas Red giving Evan Royster a little bit of a breather here. And they did mark him out. He planted his left foot over there at about the 30-yard line before tumbling forward for 3 more yards. So it'll be 2nd down at 5. There's Royster behind Zordich over there on the sideline. Sure itching to get back in because he's had one of his best nights in a long time. And this time, Red goes airborne. He didn't get much at all. Evan Royster, the senior grad student out of Fairfax, Virginia, is coming back in. And tonight, 21 carries, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns, a 1-yarder and a 4-yarder, and the Penn State career rushing record as well. So all in all, a great night. Now if they hold on for the win, it'll be even better and sweeter. He's back in on 3rd down and 4. McGloin throws on the run, and it's complete. It's a first down to Zug, the guy that he threw the touchdown pass to in the 2nd quarter.
Same play they've converted a couple 3rd down plays on. They sprint the quarterback. They roll him to that side. It's a short, high percentage throw, a little out route by the slot receiver. And they've hit this play at least 3 times in the ball game already. Just not tight enough coverage by the Michigan secondary.
End of the quarter for a guy making his first start in a Penn State uniform at quarterback, a former walk-on, and he's got his team a 2-touchdown lead at the end of 3.